It threatens the lives of more young women than cancer. It affects 1 in 3 women worldwide. It leaves women mentally scarred for life. It is violence against women and girls. According to the UN, this brutality is on the rise. Our series comes from the front line of the hidden war on women and girls. The field of conflict is just as likely to be the home as the brothel. This time on Women on the Front Line, we are in Nepal to follow the story of Sushma, a courageous young woman who, after escaping from an Indian brothel, sets out to bring her trafficker to justice.
Deserted by her husband and with 4 children to support, 24-year-old Sushma from a remote village in Nepal was sold for sexual slavery. Her trafficker took her to Kolkata, but she managed to escape. Sushma could have suffered the same fate as this Nepali woman, sold as a girl and now in her 60s, still a prostitute. In this film, we document how difficult it is for Nepal to staunch the flow of young women being trafficked across an open 2,500-kilometre-long border with India. And we meet some of the women on the front line trying to put a stop to the trade. And we follow Sushma as she sets out to find the man who lured her to a brothel in Kolkata. Landlocked between China and India, the Asian economic boom has bypassed the Himalayan kingdom of Nepal. Corrupt government and more than a decade of civil conflict are among the reasons why Nepal is the 12th poorest country in the world. 7 out of 10 Nepalese live on less than $2 a day, and according to the World Bank, almost a third of the population doesn't have enough to eat. Since 1981, Nepal's population has almost doubled to nearly 30 million, making it one of the fastest growing countries in Asia and increasing competition for land. Nepal is now an aid and remittance dependent economy. Every year, according to the UN, about 100,000 Nepalese leave the country for employment. About a third are women and girls, half of whom are trafficked unwittingly across the open border to the brothels of big Indian cities. But the statistics are not much more than guesswork. The trade in women and girls for sex is covert and highly organized.
This particular problem, which is regarded as one of the heinous crime in our country, is gradually expanding. The trade, the traffickers are, very much clever to hide themselves from the eyes of the law, but the government is trying its best to control, to combat the trafficking issue.
Conservative estimates put it at about 7,000 girls a year, but we feel that it's much higher. Sex trafficking, it's a clandestine activity. It's very hard to get data on it, and it is something that urgently needs to be addressed.
While there are anti-trafficking laws in place in Nepal, an undermanned police force can do little more than make random checks on people passing through the official border posts. The hard-pressed authorities welcome the assistance of non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, in identifying possible traffickers. These women, some of whom have been victims of trafficking themselves, are working for the NGO Mighty Nepal, which mounts its own vigilante patrols to help the border police.
हामी बिहान 5 बजेदेखि यहाँ आउँछौँ यहाँ आएर अब मान्छे आयो भने अब यिनीहरूलाई सोधपुछ गर्छौँ राम्रो अब राम्रो एड्रेस छ भने उनीहरूलाई पठाइदिन्छौँ नत्र हामी छैन भने उनीहरूले ढाँट्छ भने हामीले यहाँदेखि वहाँ चौकीमा लैजान्छौँ चौकीमा लगेर अब सोधपुछ गर्छौँ सोधपुछ गरेपछि वहाँको
They have some sort of a dream in their mind for better life, for better quality life, like that. The traffickers, they easily can tap those aspiring for better life. Girls are caught, they are easily tempted by their false promises.
वहाँ गएपछि अब त्यस्तो धन्दा गर्दिन भन्दा नि त्यहाँ घर मालिकले चाहिँ पिटेर यस्तो गर्नै पर्छ तँलाई किनेको छु भनेर कति यातना दिएको हुन्छ त्यही भएर बाध्यता भएर नि उहाँले गर्नुपर्छ
तपाईको छोरीहरु कहाँ जान लाग्नु भएको कुवेत पठाउने भनेर केको लागि पठाउन लाग्नु भएको छ
अब केमा लागि दिन्छ नोकरी
तपाईलाई थाहा छैन अनि लाने मान्छेको
लाने मान्छे हाम्रै जाने भन्छ
अनि लाने मान्छे साथमा नल्याएर
लाने मान्छे चाहिँ अर्कै काम गरेर जाने हो अन्ते जानुपर्छ
कहाँ जानु भएको छ
कता जानु भयो
हजुर
कता जानु भएको छ
कता जानु भएको छ यहाँ सुन्नु तपाईहरुलाई लाने मान्छेले यति राम्रो हिसाबले लाने भने त यहाँ आएर आफ्नो डकुमेन्ट देखाएर सबै प्रमाण पुराएर लिएर गइहाल्नुहुन्थ्यो त नि खै त नि पासपोर्टहरु लिएर आउनु भएको छ हजुरले
हजुर
छैन
Some families, even parents, they agree to send their daughters. They don't have enough information. That's why they think that, okay, their daughters are going to India or some other place to earn money because they are poor.
Unconvinced this girl has a genuine job to go to, they finally persuade her father that it's likely they are victims of trafficking and stop them crossing the border.
यसरी अर्काको कुरामा लैलैमा लागेर आफ्नो छोरीलाई पठाउने काम नगर्नुस् जीवन खेर जान्छ छोरीको है
It's 5 a.m. at Mighty Nepal's women's shelter in Kathmandu. This is Sushma, the 24-year-old mother of 4 who escaped from a Kolkata brothel. She was taken to the local police, who alerted the Nepali consulate. Mighty Nepal have brought her back to Kathmandu, and in an act of great courage, she has agreed to help them and the police find her trafficker. As dawn breaks, Sushma leads Mighty Nepal staff, accompanied by plainclothes police officers, to the house where she met her trafficker barely a week before. The couple who introduced them will have no idea she is back in Nepal. The police are hoping to catch them unawares. The police find 3 suspects in the house and arrest them. This is the man Sushma says sold her to a brothel in Kolkata. He admits to accompanying her to India. The police formally charge the suspects at their station. From here, they are taken to Mighty Nepal's headquarters. Mighty means mother's home, and the organisation has been giving shelter to victims of trafficking for nearly 20 years, supported by international donors. The suspects have been brought here to be questioned by founder of the organisation, Anuradha Kwarala, and a team of lawyers. The case can't proceed if Sushma doesn't make a formal accusation. Separated from the suspects in the next room, Sushma tells lawyers her side of the story.
आउन बित्तिकै तिमीले पक्राउन सफल भयो नि अब त तिमीले त डर मन गर्नुपर्छ यिनीहरूको अगाडि त रुनै हुँदैन तिमीले किन रुने यिनीहरूको अगाडि
If you file case against trafficker, they threaten these girls. So we have to counsel them and we have to encourage them to file case against these people, because until and unless you put people behind the bar, you are not going to prevent trafficking anywhere.
राम्रो मान्छे भनेपछि मैले विश्वास तपाईले जिम्मा लाउनु कतिमा
हजुर मैले पैसा लिएको छैन
पैसा कति दिन्छु भनेछ तपाई नडाले
यो मान्छे ठिक छैन हैन यस्तो काम नगर्दा हुन्थ्यो यो मान्छे ठिक छैन भनेर मलाई सिर्फ पैसा दिएको चाहिँ 10,000 रुपैयाँ दिएको छ आइसी त्यति हो.
And that's it. Casually and apparently without forethought, he admits to receiving money.
हौ त्यहाँ हैन लएपछि चाहिँ पुलिसहरुले सोध्यो भने केही नभन्नु भने केही भन्यो भने भन्नु यस्तो भने कि मेरो बिबी हेरे अनि 10,000 पैसा लिएर तपाई कहाँ जानु भयो
हजुर म कहीँ गएन
अनि फर्किनु भयो काठमाडौँ अर्को 4 दिन पुग्नेमा त त्यस्तै दिउँसोमा भाग्नु बसे भने अनि यसो बाटो हेरे के जुन बाटो कुन बाटो आथे त्यही बाटो पहिला के अनि त्यहाँबाट ढोकाएर हेरे ए बाटो
ढोका खुलै थियो त्यतिखेर
ए बाटो भनेर सत्य
ढोकामा पालिस लेखेको पनि थिएन
This is the man who admits he was directly involved in her sale to a brothel. Sushma says he told her he was helping her to find a better job. Kolkata, one of the most densely populated cities in the world, where over 30% live in slums. Here in the red light district, there is an insatiable demand for Nepali women, considered exotic by Indian men. Sushma was lucky to have escaped. Kamal was not so lucky. She was trafficked from Nepal as a girl. Now in her 60s and still a prostitute, she is not afraid to speak out.
50 वर्ष भइन् कसले ल्याएको एउटा मान्छेले ल्याएर आको थियो मालकिनको हातमा बिक्री गर्दियो 10,000 मा इधरपुरमी कहिले आफ्नो बाउले पनि ल्याएर आको हुन्छ आफ्नो दाइले पनि ल्याएर आको हुन्छ आफ्नो लोग्नीले पनि ल्याएर आको हुन्छ
सानो भने कति उमेर
सानोमा 10 वर्ष 11 वर्ष 12 वर्ष अर्की
हैन 10 वर्ष देखि नै काम गर्ने
तो खानु पर्यो नि त्यही कसको बाउआमाले सम्पत्ति दिएर गएको छ यहाँ त्यो छोकरीहरुले कसले दिन्छ त्यो कमाइ गर्न के बाउआमाले दिन आउँछ यहाँ नेपाल बढाएर.
Back in Kathmandu, the man who sold Sushma has been charged with trafficking. He will spend 2 years awaiting trial on a charge that now excludes the possibility of bail. And under new legislation in Nepal, brought in by the 2007 Anti-Trafficking Act, traffickers now face much tougher sentences.
Recently, the government has published one act which is very strong against these traffickers. If the trafficker is convicted, he will be imprisoned for 20 years.
There is a big vicious circle, and I think about 20-25 people are involved in one trafficking, one girl to be trafficked. She knows only this man who lured her. So this is the man who gets the least money is being put into the jail. It's not the planner or the money lender who is in the jail. So that is why we tried with 2 women when they came to Nepal. They have big houses here, big businesses here. We tried to arrest them, you know. One we did arrest, but then political protections that she was let out and she went back to India. She was trafficking women and she was running a brothel in India.
खाना जिन दिन भनौँ न पुग नपुग त्यस्तै त हो अब हामी 5-6 भाइ छोरा हो हैन अब खाना लाउनु भने कुरो बाउको एउटा अंशले अब 6 भाइ छोरामा त्यति पनि पुग्ने होइन त्यही दुखै गरेर खाने हो नि लुगा सुगा सिलाउने हैन
Legal reform, such as the recent Trafficking Act, has been brought about by the efforts of campaigners such as Dr. Renu Rajbandari to improve the status of women in Nepali society. For the past 15 years, she has been helping rehabilitate victims of trafficking.
Discrimination is real fundamental cause for trafficking in this country. Because here, women are being kind of taken as a second-class citizen by the state, who doesn't have equal right as men have in this country. And within family also, women are being treated as an asset. Okay, she's my daughter, so then I decide what is good for her. No, she is my wife, so I decide what is good for her.
Sushma, who hasn't seen her children for over a month, is finally on her way home after having made her statement to the court.
माइतीमा अब त्यही एउटा बारी छ त्यही गरेर खानु पर्थे खाना हो भने नभए त्यही त हैन बनी गर्न भन्छन् उता त अब त्यही गर्न गयो अब दुःख पाएपछि त त्यही त हैन.
Abandoned by her husband, who left her for another woman, Sushma couldn't make enough money in her village to support her 4 children. 80% of Nepalis live in villages. Most land is owned by a few influential high-caste families, with the poor trying to eke out a living as tenant farmers. Most rural Nepali households now depend on at least one member's earnings from employment in the city or abroad. During the last 5 years, Nepali migrant workers have sent home as much as $1.5 billion. This totals 15% of Nepal's GDP.
के भने ज्यान बचाउनलाई पनि त गरी खानु पर्यो नि त हेरेर त हुँदैन नि अनि त्यो घरमा चाहिँ अनि त्यो गर्नुभन्दा वर्ष धेरै नै अलिकति होस् न अलिकति बढी नै भनेर चाहिँ त्यो सोचेर अब बाहिर भनेको बाहिरै हो अब कमाउन सक्यो भने त्यो भन्दा डबल पनि जान्छ पैसा.
अब घरमा काट्नु गएको हैन अनि घरमा गएर के गर्ने अब आमालाई भन्ने हैन
Girls who had been trafficked, her family usually accepts, but society continues stigmatizing. You know, this girl had been in Mumbai or somewhere, so she's a bad woman. You know, she has been already exploited woman. So those kind of stigmatization comes there.
After a 12-hour journey, Sushma finally reaches her village. She meets her mother and her youngest child on the road to their house.
लातो भइगएछन् फेरि अलिअलि त बोल्थे हिँड हिँड ए यस्तो हो आन्टी हाम्रो गाउँ के गर्नु घरको बिजोग ओह रुख छ अब रुखले थिच्ला भन्ने डर छ.
अनि खेतीपाती यहाँ कति छ त अनि के छ धान के छ कोदो
छैन केही छैन खण्डा भएरै
अनि के खानी त
त्यही त छोरीलाई माया मारेर
पठाएको कमाउन पर्ने
ल्याउँछ रित्यायो
कलकत्ता हाम्रो संस्था छ त्यहाँ लान थालेको रहेछ तिमीलाई धेरै पैसा कमाउन लान्छु जागिर लगाइन्छु भनेर धेरै छोराछोरी पनि धेरै छ आमाले दुःख पाएको छ धेरै पैसा हुन्छ भने म लिएर आउँछु भने बिचारा उलाई थाहा छैन त उसको दोष छैन नि अनि लगेर अनि उहाँ कलकत्ता लगेको थियो उ चाहिँ भागेर आयो त्यस्तो नराम्रो काम गरेको छैन यसरी मायाले गर्दा भगवानले देखेर भागेर आयो त्यसलाई नराम्रो काम गर्न परेन
छोरी नाथे हामी बेसिया पनि हुँ सिजनको पनि हुँ बैमानी पनि सबैको छोरीले नगर्ने काम होइन गर्नुपर्छ छोराले मात्रै कमाइ गरेर हुँदैन छोरीले नै गर्नुपर्छ अनि भनेर चाहिँ मैले खदा थिएँ तर यस्तै नै भामरमा जाँदै जान्छ भने त अब मैले कता छेक्नु
You cannot say end of trafficking, you know, but I would like at least the magnitude of trafficking should go down, right? For this, government is doing something, but it is not enough. There should be job opportunities for women in the villages, literacy programs for women in the villages. For me, the main problem of trafficking is gender equality.
The challenge is in moving from legislation to practice, in having an effect in the lives of people on the ground, so that women know that a life as a second-class citizen is not the way it's supposed to be, and that they have opportunities to change that.
We have realized that changing value system is not that easy thing. Those values that are already that we have were the result of the hundreds of years. And so within a few years or maybe 1 decade or 2 decades is not that long to change the mindset of the people, to change the value system, and we are optimistic actually.
एकदम रमाइलो लाग्छ आफ्नो घर आइपुग्यो
बच्चाहरुलाई त पाल्नु पर्यो
कसरी गर्ने अब जस्तो चाहिँ यहाँ त्यस्तै हो हैन अब सकेसम्म भन्ने
6 months on, Sushma remains in the village with her children. Her traffickers are still in jail awaiting trial.
Airwaves, a global channel of uncompromising stories, world news, documentaries, entertainment, and culture. Link TV, connecting you to the world. For more information, visit linktv.org.